Alright guys, so today's video we get to check out kind of a different product. Now it is from the company MOONDROP, which we have seen a lot of their products here recently. But the product we're going to check out today is the new MOONDROP Discdream 2 Ultra. Now what this is really like an audiophile's portable CD player, but it's so much more than that. It really feels like MOONDROP made a product that kind of bridged me as a kid, like why I got into music the way that I did in the first place to where I am now, where I like to use higher end equipment like IEMs and over-the-ear headphones and different DACs, different amps. And so this product really just brought back a lot of memories for me because the first time that I really truly got into music, where something just grabbed me out of nowhere. Now I listened to music as a kid on cassette, which some of you guys may not know what that is, but I was walking through a mall one day and I walked by a Radio Shack, and right there at the front there was this display and there was a little portable CD player just kind of connected to two speakers, and it made me stop. It was something about how clear and how loud and everything that was just coming out of this little tiny CD player. And in fact, the song that was playing was like Gloria Estefan. I don't remember the specific song. And it wasn't even a genre that I listened to at the time, but it was something that just made me stop in my tracks to just sit there and listen to what was coming out of these speakers. And that holiday season, I actually got a portable CD player. I got my first few CDs, which from my parents, they just randomly picked stuff. It was a U2 album, and I think it was Joshua Tree. It was an Eagles album. It was Paula Abdul. And at the time I was into Boyz II Men. So it was just this wide collection of stuff already to begin with. But I listened to those albums over and over and over again. And I think that's one of the things that I miss about CDs. It was being able to just pop something in, kind of like a cassette, and you knew that you were committed to that album. Like from the track that started all the way to the end, that was who you were listening to. It wasn't on shuffle, it wasn't on a playlist, and I kind of missed that from time to time. So it was really odd that I saw that MOONDROP released the Discdream 2 Ultra. It is not a cheap CD player in general. It does come in at $289, and if it was just a portable CD player, that would be quite expensive. But it also doubles, because of the USB-C connection that it has, as a sound card for your PC or your Mac. You basically have a really good DAC or an amp that now you can plug into your PC. And so you have that, which you can use for everything that you listen to on your PC. And you also have a portable CD player. That's gonna have some pretty impressive specs, which we'll talk about. Now, the old CD player that I had used to use AA batteries to power it, or you could just leave it plugged into the wall, where the Discdream 2 Ultra is using a USB-C connection. So it already has a battery built into it. And when it's fully charged, you can get about 8 hours on a full listening session. You can just leave it plugged in and use it powered that way. So 8 hours I think is pretty impressive, especially considering it's powering, spinning the CD, the laser that needs to read the CD, the amps, and the output to the headphones or earbuds or IEMs, whatever you're using. So there's a lot going on in this CD player. Now it is an all aluminum build. You can see on the front, it's clear in sections where you can actually see the CD spinning. And MOONDROP, in my opinion, has the design of this kind of mimic the headphones that we checked out from them recently. They had the Venus and Para headphones. They have that same aluminum feel where everything's kind of cut sharply. I do think that you could cut your finger on the top of these because it is pretty sharp inside of those grooves. It's very simple as far as controls. You can see everything is right up front. There's also a little display. This is what is letting you know what track is playing and how long it is into the track. It shows your battery life. Again, I think it's really cool. It just has this retro feel to it. Now the CD player also has a double shock absorbing design. Another problem with the original portable CD players is you could just walk by it and barely bump it, or like the wind touches it and it would always skip whatever you're listening to. It was kind of a pain, but again, the technology was so new that you just kind of accepted it. But the design that this has, it's pretty much impossible to get it to skip unless you're just slinging it around. So I think they did a really good job of making it where you could walk around with it. Although this is not something you would walk around in your pocket or your bag, but like if you're going from a table to a desk or moving it around, it's not going to skip while you're in the process of doing all of that. Now it does have different connections on the side. This is very important to how you're going to really be able to take advantage of these. It has two different 3.5mm plugins. One is an optical plugin, so if you're going to plug this into a different amp or different speakers that already might be powered in their own way, you would use this connection. There is a 3.5mm amp plugin. This is what you would plug your IEMs or headphones or anything into to be able to take advantage of the DAC and the amp and all the chips and everything that's built into the CD player. And then there is a 4.4mm balanced output. Now this is huge. A lot of audiophiles like to use balanced output. It's basically taking advantage of the dual chips that this CD player has to send the exact same signal to both your left and right ears. And it's basically giving you more power overall. And then as far as anything else on the back, there is a power switch, and then there is also that USB-C plug-in that you would use to charge the CD player or plug it into your PC to use it as a sound card. Now it is using a 4-channel analog amplifier. It's also using dual Cirrus Logic flagship chips. Now this system does have power that outputs at 222 milliwatts at 32 ohms. And really this means it's pretty easy to drive any pair of headphones or any pair of IEMs with no issues. It's just when it comes to some of the planar headphones that really kind of require bigger amps or require more power to at least get a lot of volume out of. This is the only area that I see like the CD player kind of lacks in, but definitely not when it comes to IEMs or just regular normal studio style headphones. It has plenty of power to give you enough volume to really give you enough that you can take advantage of the lows, the mids, and the highs. This is a very impressive system just based off the power that it's outputting alone. And really this is just going to kind of depend on the device that you're plugged into. I was using the new MOONDROP Cadence. The sound that I've got out of these is absolutely incredible. It just had so much body to it. It didn't sound flat or lifeless. It had this rich, full feel to it. The bass had a really nice punch. It never felt like it was overly aggressive. It never felt like it was lacking, like they were trying to hold anything back. Vocals just always had this really upfront feel to them. And it just had a really nice separation between each instrument. And the treble had a nice, bright, definitely clean appeal to it. So the power, again, that was being output out of the CD player, I think most people, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say that I think that most people are going to be completely happy with. And plugging this in to a PC, basically I plugged it into my laptop. This makes it where you can kind of have like an audiophile listening station on the go. The CD player is a little large. It's obviously not going to be as large as a laptop. So it's going to be easy to carry around both, especially if you're going to go to like a coffee shop or you're going to plan to sit down and work on something for a few hours. It's really convenient, and you don't feel like you're having to kind of take a step down when it comes to listening to your music. You feel like you still have all the power you need, and it's just, I don't know, it's so convenient. And at the end of the day, like, I absolutely loved the whole time that I was testing this CD player. There's just something about it. Again, I felt like it was made specifically for me, which draws me to this conclusion though. Do I think that this is going to be for everybody? Absolutely not. I think this is for a very niche market. I definitely think this is for audiophiles that still have CDs, and especially if you have a lot of FLAC files or, you know, high-end files on your PC or your Mac, being able to plug it in and take advantage of that, having the power that this has. I mean, it's very versatile. Now, the first time they made the original Discdream, it sold out and they really couldn't keep up with demand. And the whole time that they were trying to refine the process and get higher end components in it, they decided to go ahead and release the Discdream 2 Ultra, which is what's being released now. So instead of trying to like meeting that demand of the first one, they just went ahead and improved it. And this is basically the outcome of that. That's what the Discdream 2 Ultra is. This was something completely different, but it was so familiar because of what the original Discman or portable CD player actually meant to me from an audio standpoint, what it did as far as getting me into music. So yeah, it was like taking a step back in time, but also with who I am now. Having that amp, being able to use IEMs and headphones that I just enjoy using makes it very convenient, and it easily makes it a product that I can recommend. But guys, that's my video on the brand new MOONDROP Discdream 2 Ultra. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.